When we speak of the cat as an animal associated with wealth and blessings, it is not because it possesses some magical power to bring money into your home, but rather because of the values and lifestyle it indirectly promotes. In many cultures and historical accounts, the presence of a cat has been seen as a sign of comfort, safety, and even divine mercy. Why? Because a cat is naturally clean, graceful, and peaceful. It has a unique way of making a home feel warm and calm. When you take care of a cat, you are practicing mercy and responsibility. You are dedicating time, effort, and resources to a living creature that depends on you. This act itself brings blessings because in Islam and in many other moral teachings, showing kindness to animals is a deed loved by the Almighty. A cat also plays a very practical role in maintaining cleanliness in your home. It keeps away harmful pests such as rats and mice, which are not only carriers of disease, but also creatures that damage stored food and create an unclean environment. A clean home is a home where health thrives, and when health thrives, you save money on treatment, enjoy better productivity, and have the energy to work towards your goals. In that sense, the cat indirectly helps protect your resources and your family's well-being. Moreover, a cat teaches you emotional lessons. It is an animal that thrives in an environment of peace. If there is constant shouting, chaos, or hostility in the house, a cat becomes anxious and withdrawn. Its behavior is almost like a mirror, showing you the state of your own home's emotional climate. This silent feedback can push you to create a more harmonious and loving space, not just for the cat, but for the whole family. And harmony in the home is a powerful form of wealth, because what use is financial success if your household is full of stress and conflict? In some historical Muslim households, cats were welcomed in mosques and libraries. There are stories of scholars who kept cats near them while studying and teaching. This shows the cultural respect they had for these animals, linking them to wisdom and blessings. When you treat your cat well, feed it properly, and provide a safe place for it to rest, you are training your heart to be compassionate and your mind to be disciplined. Both compassion and discipline are key qualities of successful people. Financial wealth is not just about earning more. It is also about managing what you have, avoiding loss, and keeping your life in order. A cat's very nature helps in this process by keeping away vermin, signaling the need for cleanliness, and giving you an example of contentment. Notice how a cat finds joy in the simplest things: a warm corner, a gentle touch, a bit of food. This is a reminder that real wealth is contentment. If you can be content with little, then whatever you have will feel abundant. Ultimately, the cat is a symbol. It reminds us that blessings come when we care for creation, maintain cleanliness, promote peace in our homes, and learn to live with gratitude. It is not the cat itself that brings money into your pocket, but the lifestyle it encourages. The mercy, the discipline, the cleanliness, the harmony that invites the barakah of the Almighty into your life. If you want a blessed home, look at the qualities of the cat and adopt them in your own behavior. Be gentle, be clean, be observant, and be at peace with what you have while working for what you need. When you live like this, you are already rich, no matter what your bank account says.
The cow has been a timeless symbol of provision, stability, and abundance in many parts of the world. It is an animal that serves human beings in more ways than most people realize. In rural communities, owning a cow is often a sign of security and steady income. From its milk, a family can gain nutrition every day, and with excess production, they can sell or trade for other essentials. Even in urban settings where direct ownership of livestock may not be common, the cow remains a representation of consistent provision and the blessings that come through hard work and care. When you think about it, a cow does not bring wealth overnight. It is not like finding treasure. Instead, it teaches a valuable principle: sustained effort over time yields lasting benefit. You have to feed it, care for its health, provide it with shelter, and look after it daily. In return, it gives milk regularly, which can be turned into many useful products like butter, yogurt, and cheese. This is a perfect reflection of how blessings truly work in life. They are not usually sudden. They grow slowly and steadily when nurtured. The cow also represents gratitude and humility. It is a large, strong creature, yet incredibly gentle when treated with kindness. It does not take much from you compared to what it gives in return. This balance of giving and receiving is a life lesson in itself. In our own lives, when we maintain this balance, being generous while managing our needs wisely, we create an environment where wealth and blessings naturally grow. In many cultures, the cow is also linked to barakah, the unseen increase in goodness and benefit. This is not about superstition, but about the truth that when you show kindness to something that serves others, the Almighty can place more blessing in your efforts. People who own cows often develop a routine of discipline, waking up early to feed and milk them. Discipline is a powerful driver of financial and spiritual success. Without it, wealth is hard to build and even harder to keep. Another important aspect is the cow's role in feeding the wider community. A single cow can provide for not just one family but many. This reflects a principle found in faith and morality: the more you benefit others, the more blessings you receive in return. It encourages us to live beyond selfishness and think about how our resources, skills, or wealth can help others. When you use what you have for the good of others, you are planting seeds that will grow into a harvest of both worldly and spiritual rewards. Even the byproducts of the cow have value. In farming communities, cow dung is used as fertilizer, which helps crops grow, leading to more food and income. This teaches us that in life, nothing should be wasted. Every resource, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, can be turned into benefit with the right mindset. Wastefulness, on the other hand, drains wealth, while wise use of resources multiplies it. In the bigger picture, the cow is a reminder that blessings come to those who are willing to nurture them. Just as the cow requires regular care, our careers, relationships, and spiritual lives require attention and effort. Neglect leads to loss, but consistent care leads to abundance. So when we speak about the cow as an animal that brings wealth and blessings, we are really talking about the values it represents: patience, discipline, gratitude, productivity, and generosity. These are the true foundations of prosperity. When you live by them, you will find that your wealth is not just in money, but in peace of mind, good health, strong relationships, and the satisfaction of knowing you are living a meaningful, balanced life. That is the kind of wealth no market crash can take away. The horse has long been a symbol of dignity, strength, and progress. Across history, it has played a vital role in the development of societies, economies, and even personal livelihoods. Before the invention of modern vehicles, the horse was one of the fastest and most reliable means of transport. It carried traders to markets, farmers to their fields, and messengers across vast lands. For many families, owning a horse was not just a convenience, it was a source of income and an investment in the future. This is why the horse is often associated with wealth and blessings. A horse represents the kind of wealth that comes from mobility and opportunity. When a person had a strong, healthy horse, they could travel to do business, access new markets, and explore opportunities far beyond their immediate surroundings. In modern terms, this is similar to having the tools, skills, or resources that open doors to new ventures. Without such tools, a person's potential might remain limited to their immediate environment. Another quality the horse symbolizes is discipline. Horses are powerful animals, but their power is only useful when guided. Without training, a horse can be unpredictable and even dangerous. In the same way, our talents, skills, and resources must be directed with discipline and focus if we want them to produce wealth and blessings. A horse requires consistent care, feeding, grooming, exercise, and medical attention. This mirrors the reality of life. Anything valuable in our possession needs maintenance. Neglect leads to decline, while consistent care preserves and increases value. The horse also teaches the importance of partnership. A rider and horse must trust each other to achieve anything. The rider depends on the horse's strength, while the horse depends on the rider's guidance. This is a lesson for life and business. We cannot succeed in isolation. True prosperity often comes through partnerships built on trust, respect, and mutual benefit. Just as a horse cannot carry a rider safely without training, no relationship or partnership can carry us to success without clear understanding and cooperation. In many cultures, the horse is also seen as a status symbol. It reflects a level of preparedness and capability. In the past, when someone owned more than one horse, it often meant they had wealth to maintain them and the foresight to invest in assets that could generate further income. This teaches us a principle of financial growth. Invest in what can multiply your opportunities, not just in what looks appealing. Horses also remind us of endurance. They can travel long distances and bear heavy loads without giving up. This endurance reflects the patience and persistence needed to achieve lasting success. Wealth rarely comes instantly. It often demands the ability to keep moving forward despite challenges, much like a horse on a long journey. Finally, the horse inspires respect. Its presence commands attention not through arrogance, but through a natural grace and power. Likewise, when we build wealth through honest, disciplined, and productive means, it commands respect in the community. People are drawn to those who combine strength with humility, just as they admire a well-cared for, well-trained horse. When we say the horse brings wealth and blessings, we are not talking about luck. We are talking about the qualities it represents: strength, discipline, endurance, preparedness, partnership, and the ability to seize opportunities. If you adopt these qualities in your life, you will naturally find yourself moving toward greater prosperity, not just financially, but in your character, relationships, and spiritual well-being. A horse does not stand still and expect blessings to come. It moves forward, carrying its rider to new horizons. And in life, that is exactly how blessings and wealth arrive, through consistent, purposeful movement toward our goals. The chicken is one of the most underestimated animals when it comes to the concept of wealth and blessings. At first glance, it may seem ordinary and small compared to larger, more majestic creatures, but its value becomes clear when you truly observe its role in a household or community. The chicken is a symbol of consistent provision, patience, and simple yet reliable productivity. It does not give all its benefits at once, but rather little by little, day by day, just like the steady growth of wealth when managed wisely. One of the most obvious blessings from a chicken is its eggs. A single hen can provide fresh eggs regularly, which serve as a source of nutrition for the family and, in many places, a means of earning income. This teaches a very important lesson. Wealth is not always about sudden windfalls. Often, it is about small but consistent gains that accumulate over time. A person who manages even small earnings with care can grow their resources into something substantial. The chicken also teaches us patience. From the time you raise a chick to the time it begins laying eggs, there is a waiting period that requires care, feeding, and protection. You cannot rush the process, and this mirrors the reality of life. Blessings often require preparation and consistent effort before they begin to show results. People who understand this principle are less likely to be frustrated by delays and more likely to stay committed to their goals. Another quality the chicken represents is resourcefulness. Almost every part of it is useful: its eggs, its meat, and even its feathers in some traditional uses. This reflects the mindset of making the most out of what you have. Many times, people lose wealth not because they do not earn enough, but because they waste what they already have. The chicken reminds us that every resource can be valuable if used wisely. In rural households, chickens are often left to roam freely during the day to find their own food. They peck at grains, insects, and plants, making them efficient and low cost to maintain. This independence is a valuable lesson. While it is important to provide for what is under your care, it is equally important to develop the ability to sustain oneself through initiative and effort. In human terms, this means learning skills, exploring opportunities, and not relying solely on others for provision. The chicken also plays a role in fostering responsibility, especially in children. Families that raise chickens often involve children in feeding and caring for them. This teaches discipline, empathy, and the value of work. These qualities, when carried into adulthood, become the foundation for financial stability and moral character. Furthermore, chickens can multiply quickly. A few hens and a rooster can lead to more chickens, which in turn means more eggs, more meat, and more opportunities for income. This shows how small beginnings, when nurtured, can expand into abundance. Many people overlook small opportunities because they seem insignificant, yet those small opportunities can grow into something far greater if given the right attention. Finally, the chicken symbolizes simplicity. It does not require expensive maintenance or luxury to thrive, just basic care, food, and protection from harm. This teaches us that blessings do not always come from complex or extravagant sources. Sometimes the simplest things in life can be the most consistent providers of wealth and comfort. So when we say the chicken brings wealth and blessings, we are speaking about more than just food or income. We are speaking about the values it represents: patience, consistency, resourcefulness, responsibility, and the ability to grow from small beginnings. If we adopt these values in our own lives, we will find that our homes are not only financially stable, but also rich in the deeper blessings of contentment and gratitude. The rat is often mentioned in traditions and everyday wisdom as a creature linked to poverty, and this association is not without reason. It is important to clarify that the rat itself is not cursed or magically responsible for taking away wealth. Rather, it is the habits, conditions, and consequences that come with its presence that make it a symbol of loss, waste, and decline. Understanding why the rat carries this negative association can help us avoid the real causes of poverty it represents. Rats are known for being destructive. They chew through food supplies, clothing, furniture, and even electrical wiring, causing not only direct loss but also expensive damage. In the same way, poverty is often not caused by a sudden disaster, but by a series of small, continuous losses, wasting resources, neglecting maintenance, and failing to protect what we have. A rat infestation in a home is a clear sign of carelessness in cleanliness and storage, just as financial loss can often be traced to carelessness in planning and safeguarding wealth. The rat thrives in unclean, neglected spaces. This teaches us a critical principle: disorder and lack of attention create an environment where loss grows. Just as rats multiply quickly in an unchecked environment, small problems in our finances or daily habits can grow rapidly when left unaddressed. A leaking pipe ignored today may become a costly repair tomorrow. An unmonitored expense can snowball into a major financial burden. Poverty can creep in the same way quietly through neglect. Another trait of rats is their greed and wastefulness. They will hoard food, gnaw through supplies they do not even consume, and spoil more than they actually eat. This mirrors the behavior of people who misuse wealth, spending recklessly, buying things they do not need, or failing to appreciate and preserve the blessings they have. Wealth is not only about earning, it is also about managing wisely. Even a large income can be drained by poor habits, just as a full storehouse can be emptied by a few destructive pests. Rats also work silently. Often, by the time you notice them, the damage is already done. This is a reminder that the roots of financial and spiritual poverty often develop quietly in the background of our daily lives. It could be the habit of procrastination, the neglect of regular savings, or the slow erosion of values like honesty and hard work. By the time the consequences become visible, much harm may already have been done. In a symbolic sense, the rat teaches us the importance of vigilance. A clean, organized, and well-maintained home is less likely to attract pests, and a well-managed, disciplined life is less likely to attract financial loss. This is why many traditions place emphasis on cleanliness, not just as a matter of hygiene, but as a reflection of discipline and responsibility. The presence of rats can also drive away blessings in another way. They create discomfort and stress. A home with pests is not a place of peace, and a life filled with financial instability and poor management is not a life of contentment. Peace of mind is one of the greatest forms of wealth, and losing it can make even the richest person feel poor. When we say the rat brings poverty, it is really a warning against the behaviors and conditions it represents: neglect, waste, greed, and disorder. If we keep our homes, finances, and habits clean, organized, and disciplined, we will naturally protect ourselves from the losses symbolized by this creature. Poverty is not always a matter of how much you have, but how well you care for what you have. Just as removing the conditions that attract rats will protect your home, removing the habits that attract financial loss will protect your wealth and blessings.